Across the endless African savanna, where the sun burns fiercely overhead and dust swirls across the open plains, life unfolds according to the harsh rhythm of survival. In this scorching landscape, true silence does not exist. Every shadow may hide danger, and the slightest movement can expose a predator waiting patiently. Here, survival is never passive. Every creature must struggle to endure. Under this unforgiving sky, the distance between life and death can be measured in a single breath. A brief moment of hesitation is often enough to lose everything. The savanna shows no mercy and offers no second chances. Only those able to react with extreme speed and precision can survive in a world without shelter or forgiveness. This land belongs to the masters of speed predators that have turned motion into their deadliest advantage. Their bodies are shaped for pursuit, their senses sharpened to detect the faintest sign of weakness. In mere seconds, calm transforms into a burst of power and accuracy, where every stride can decide the fate of both hunter and prey. Yet in the African savanna, no ruler reigns forever. Every hunt is a risk, every attack a calculated gamble. Within this brutal yet captivating cycle, nature reveals a powerful truth. Survival depends not only on strength, but on the ability to strike at precisely the right moment. Across the vast dry plains of the savanna, Thompson's gazelles, small yet resilient warriors, are born equipped for speed. With slender bodies weighing only between 15 and 35 kilograms, they move across the landscape like living arrows. Their long, powerful legs are the result of millions of years of evolution. Shaped by one simple truth: speed is their greatest defense and the key to survival. During the dry season, their light brown coats marked with bold black stripes along the sides help them blend seamlessly into the dusty surroundings. But when water becomes scarce and every remaining pool turns into a lifeline, camouflage alone is no longer enough. Drought strips away more than moisture; it removes any sense of safety. The last water holes draw all animals together, prey and predator alike, and for Thompson's gazelles, a drink of water can mean facing deadly danger. A herd of around 20 gazelles approaches a small pond with extreme caution. The lead animal steps forward first, ears raised and senses fully alert, while the rest remain tightly grouped, ready to flee at the first sign of threat. No matter how vigilant they are, coming this close to water is always a gamble with life itself. Hidden within the nearby vegetation, a lioness watches in silence. Lions may not outrun gazelles over long distances, but they compensate with strength, patience, and strategy. Lionesses, the primary hunters of the pride, move with remarkable stealth, making no sound as their focused golden eyes lock onto a target. Their power is overwhelming. A perfectly timed leap and a crushing bite are often enough to end the struggle. As one gazelle strays slightly too close to the water's edge, the decisive moment arrives. The lioness bursts from the bushes like a flash of lightning. Silence shatters into the thunder of hooves and heavy breaths. In seconds, everything is decided by speed and instinct. The herd scatters in all directions, a deliberate tactic meant to confuse the predator. This is more than a chase, it is a battle of intelligence. Capable of reaching speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, Thompson's gazelles outrun even the fastest human on Earth. Their agility is just as remarkable, with sudden changes in direction that challenge even the most experienced hunters. But the lioness has made her choice, a young gazelle, still not fast enough to match the adults. Driven by instinct, the youngster runs with all its strength, but the relentless heat takes its toll. At its top speed, the effort is not enough. The lioness closes the gap rapidly. One final precise leap claw's grip. The gazelle falls, and a final bite brings the chase to an end. Time is also an enemy for the lions. They can only maintain top speed for a few seconds before exhaustion sets in. For them, a successful hunt is not just a meal, it is survival itself. Failure can mean days of hunger beneath the unforgiving sun, There is no mourning in the savanna. The rest of the herd has already fled, leaving the lioness alone with her prey. Each year during the Great Migration, hundreds of thousands of wildebeest and tens of thousands of zebras perish from thirst, exhaustion, or predation. For the lion, this is victory. For the savanna, it is natural law. This is not cruelty, but balance, where one life continues only through the end of another. Exhausted, the lioness rests after the hunt. In the distance, the silhouettes of Thompson's gazelles remain visible. They watch, they learn. There is no time for grief, only lessons that may ensure survival for one more day. On the savanna, every gazelle runs not only for its own life, but for the safety of the herd and the promise of another sunrise. Unlike the small and agile Thompson's gazelles, wildebeest rely on strength in numbers. Their survival strategy is built around unity rather than silence or solitude. They move as a powerful mass, almost like a marching army. Hundreds, sometimes thousands, advance together, dark eyes fixed on the distant horizon. Each heavy step strikes the dry ground, sending vibrations across the open savanna. The blue wildebeest is one of the largest and most numerous animals in this ecosystem. An adult can weigh up to 270 kilograms and measure well over 2 meters in length. Its gray-brown coat, crossed with dark stripes, helps it blend into the landscape, though its sheer size also makes it an obvious target. Its curved, hardened horns serve a dual purpose, defending against predators and establishing dominance within the herd. During the dry season, wildebeest rarely pause. They travel across sun-scorched grasslands where heat shimmers above the earth. Strong legs and durable hooves allow them to cover vast distances each day in search of the most precious resource of all, water. Living in large herds is not accidental. It is a vital adaptation. Alone, a single wildebeest is vulnerable. Together, thousands form a moving barrier that few predators can easily break. The strongest adults position themselves along the outer edges of the herd, forming a protective shield, while calves and weaker individuals remain safely in the center. This collective structure is essential for enduring drought and lowering the risk of attack. When danger appears, hundreds of alert eyes respond instantly. Cooperation and individual sacrifice reflect one of nature's harshest rules. Survival here depends on the group. Breaking through a wildebeest herd is no simple task. Their horns are always ready to confront a threat. And when cornered, their combined strength can even force a lion to retreat. Wildebeest often graze alongside zebras, creating mixed herds that improve early detection of predators. They also pay close attention to warning signals from other species such as baboons, whose alarm calls can reveal danger nearby. Zebras play a crucial role in this shared defense. Research shows that their exceptional eyesight allows them to spot lions from more than 2 kilometers away. Once a threat is detected, alarm signals spread quickly, and the entire group shifts into a defensive formation. Even so, wildebeest remain common prey for lions, hyenas, and African wild dogs. Each predator hunts differently. Lions rely on explosive power, while hyenas and wild dogs depend on endurance. Chases between wild dogs and wildebeest are a regular sight in these arid lands. Long pursuits that kick up clouds of dust until exhaustion overtakes the prey. Hot winds sweep across the savanna, a reminder that despite their numbers, even the wildebeest are never entirely beyond the reach of danger. Spotted hyenas are among the most feared predators of the savanna. Clever, bold, and relentless. They compete directly with lions for control of prey. Their jaws deliver one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom, strong enough to crush bone with ease. Yet their true strength lies not only in raw power, but in teamwork, coordination, and collective intelligence. Concealed among dry bushes near a shrinking water hole, a group of hyenas watches a wildebeest herd from a distance. An adult female, the dominant leader, lowers her head and bares her teeth with a quiet growl. Hyenas do not hunt out of cruelty, but necessity. A vulnerable calf means food and the chance to survive a few more days in a harsh land. But this time, they overlook a crucial law of the savanna wildebeest: never face danger alone. Like a sudden charge, the hyenas burst from cover. Their calls tear through the air, spreading panic across the herd. The response is immediate. Adult wildebeest surge forward and reorganize, forming a defensive ring around the calves. The chase begins. The hyena leader locks onto a single target, a young wildebeest struggling to break free. With legs still unsteady, the calf runs at full effort. But the dry, hardened ground drains its strength. More hyenas join the assault, attempting to breach the living shield. The herd holds firm. A powerful adult male lowers his curved, sharpened horns and charges straight at the leader. His roar echoes across the plains. In seconds, other adults join the counterattack, forcing the predators backward. The determination and collective strength of the herd give the hyenas pause. Dust rises thick in the air, heavy and blinding. Growls and bellows collide in a tense standoff where survival hangs in the balance. The outcome remains uncertain, and for a moment, the savanna seems to hold its breath. Yet amid the chaos, one truth stands out: strength does not belong to the individual alone, but to unity. This shared resilience is nature's greatest gift to the wildebeest, the instinct to protect one another, to endure, and to keep the cycle of life in motion. The ending is never guaranteed, because on the savanna, every conclusion is only another chapter in the endless struggle to survive. Wildebeest do not abandon their own. In this dry and unforgiving land, they keep the spark of life alive. And while the savanna is often defined by explosive chases and violent encounters, sometimes it is the stillness, the tense calm before movement that determines the invisible line between life and death. Within the stillness of dense thickets, the greater kudu follows a different path to survival. Unlike the lightning-fast Thompson's gazelle or the powerful nude herd-dependent wildebeest, the kudu does not rely on extreme speed or group protection. Its strategy is subtler: remain hidden, stay motionless, and fade from danger's view. Among antelopes, the kudu is a true master of camouflage and discretion. This graceful herbivore is known for its impressive presence. Adult males carry long, spiral-shaped horns that can reach up to 1.8 meters in length, symbols of strength and quiet authority. Its gray-brown coat, marked with thin white stripes along the body, breaks up its outline and allows it to blend seamlessly with dry shrubs and shadowed terrain. At first glance, it can appear to be part of the landscape itself. One of the kudu's greatest advantages is its hearing. Large, sensitive ears act like finely tuned sensors, detecting even the faintest sound, the snap of a twig or the careful movement of a predator through the brush. Despite weighing more than 300 kilograms, the kudu is remarkably agile, capable of clearing obstacles over 2.5 meters high. This is not about raw speed, but precision. Every movement is deliberate, conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary attention. During the dry season, when the savanna seems scorched and lifeless, kudus avoid large herds and major water sources. They know such places attract predators. Instead, they retreat into dense areas that many other herbivores avoid, feeding on high leaves and tree shoots. They extract the moisture they need to survive. Their long, flexible necks allow them to reach food beyond the grasp of many other species. On a sweltering afternoon, a greater kudu feeds beneath the shade of a tree. Everything appears calm, but calm does not mean safety. Hidden among the branches nearby, a leopard watches closely. With its muscular build, low profile, and exceptional climbing ability, it is a perfectly adapted hunter for this environment. Every step forward is silent, controlled, and nearly invisible. Suddenly, a faint sound breaks the silence. The kudu's ears snap upright, rotating toward the source. Dark eyes scan the surrounding brush. It does not flee. It does not move. It waits, assessing the threat. The leopard realizes it has been detected. The distance is still manageable, but hesitation could mean failure. With a sudden burst of power, the leopard launches from its elevated position. In the same instant, the kudu reacts with flawless timing. A powerful leap carries it deep into the thick vegetation. Though agile, the leopard cannot match the kudu's skill in confined terrain. While not as fast as a Thompson's gazelle, the kudu can reach speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour over short distances. It weaves through bushes and uneven ground, using the landscape itself to confuse its pursuer. The chase lasts only minutes, but it is enough to exhaust the leopard. The kudu has relied on an ancient tactic, turning terrain and cover into allies. This time, luck is on its side. The species' escape success is lower than that of faster antelopes, and while kudus perform best in rocky or sloped areas, they remain vulnerable in open plains. On On the savanna, speed and strength do not always decide the outcome. Sometimes, silence, patience, and the ability to merge with the environment are the most powerful tools of all. Nature has given each species a different gift. For the greater kudu, that gift is calm awareness, quiet intelligence, and the remarkable ability to vanish in a world as beautiful as it is unforgiving. As the sun sinks low and paints the horizon in warm shades of gold, the kudu fades quietly into the trees, remaining faithful to its strategy of silence and discretion. Not far away, a leopard lies motionless on a high branch, eyes glowing in the growing twilight. A failed hunt has left it hungry once more. During the dry season, prey becomes scarce, forcing the leopard to take risks it would normally avoid. Night settles in, and smaller creatures hurry to find shelter. Darkness offers cover not only to this hungry leopard, but to every predator on the savanna. Even with danger close at hand, no animal can ignore thirst or hunger. Cooler temperatures draw many species from hiding, driven to search for the last patches of grass and food. In the distance, a herd of wildebeest rests while a small group of Thompson's gazelles grazes on the sparse vegetation. For the leopard, it is an opportunity. For the antelopes, it is yet another trial imposed by the dry season. They are survivors, but they are also essential threads in the fabric of the ecosystem. Antelopes, in all their remarkable diversity, are among the most abundant animals on the savanna and play a critical role in maintaining ecological balance. From the lightning-fast Thompson's gazelle, to the massive herds of wildebeest, to the elusive kudu, all are common prey for lions, leopards, and hyenas. Within the food chain, antelopes occupy a vital middle ground, converting plant energy into sustenance for the great predators. When an antelope falls, it does not feed just one hunter. Hyenas and scavenging birds, such as vultures, also benefit. The loss of a single life is not meaningless. It fuels the ongoing cycle that keeps the savanna alive. In nature, every ending supports a new beginning. Yet antelopes do not surrender easily. Constantly alert, they rely on cooperation to survive. At the slightest hint of danger, ears rise and eyes scan the brush. A barely audible sound can trigger an alarm. A sharp snort cuts through the air, and grazing stops instantly. Guided by collective instinct, the wildebeest respond, and the herd begins to move away from the threat. On the savanna, survival is never a solitary effort. Protection comes not only from individual strength, but from the response of the group. Meanwhile, the leopard remains perfectly still, patient in the way only experienced hunters can be. It waits for a mistake, and then it happens. A young antelope, distracted while feeding, drifts too far from the others. The moment arrives without warning. The leopard glides forward in silence, then explodes into motion. In a single leap, the distance disappears. Claws brush the prey, but an alarm cry rings out and the herd scatters in chaotic flight. Not all escape with equal fortune. During the dry season, every animal is part of a vast web of life. Lions, leopards, and hyenas, powerful as they are, depend on antelopes for survival. But antelopes also depend on predators. Hunters regulate herbivore numbers, preventing the land from being stripped of vegetation. Without them, the savanna itself would be at risk. This is the cycle that governs the savanna. Every species plays an irreplaceable role. Night falls slowly, but life does not pause. A distant lion's roar breaks the silence as predator shadows glide through the darkness. The savanna, harsh and unforgiving, is not only a place of struggle, but a powerful example of interdependence. within this fragile balance, antelopes, seemingly delicate yet remarkably resilient, continue to write their story. Day after day. Across the rolling seas of grass, one remarkable figure reigns: the ostrich, a ruler that needs no flight to command its realm. This colossal bird of the African plains never takes to the sky, yet finds its freedom close to the earth, driven by the sheer power and speed of its long legs. In these dry lands, no one can match them. Here, true strength rises directly from the ground. When this giant begins to run, each stride sends tremors through the soil, lifting clouds of dust that shimmer in the sunlight. Reaching speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour, the ostrich outruns the burning summer wind itself, becoming a living symbol of motion and endurance on the savanna. Its small wings are useless for flight, but they serve another vital purpose: balance. As it changes direction at high speed, the ostrich spreads them like sails, guiding its body with surprising grace and maintaining perfect control through strength, stamina, and momentum. As it travels across the plains, the ostrich scatters seeds far and wide, helping new life take root and keeping the grasslands alive. In this way, it earns its place as one of nature's quiet architects. Even during the dry season, when rivers shrink into cracked sand, the ostrich presses on with remarkable resilience. As night falls, the wind whispers through the grass like a warning. Predators awaken and begin to stalk, but the ostrich hesitates for no one. A few powerful strides are enough to vanish into darkness and dust, leaving behind only the echo of wind and the fleeting trace of speed. With no claws to strike and no wings to lift it skyward, the ostrich depends entirely on its legs. In them lies the proof of evolution's lesson. True power is not found in weapons, but in perfect adaptation to a world both vast and unforgiving. Slowly, the sun rises over the horizon, its first golden rays cutting through dew-covered grass and awakening the savanna after a quiet night. Darkness fades, and life returns with birdsong, rustling grass, and the steady steps of the giant. Under the harsh midday sun, heat shimmers above the land. The ostrich feeds during a rare moment of calm, unaware that within the tall grass, the sleek outline of a cheetah crouches low, ready to unleash the fastest storm the savanna has ever known. The stillness shatters. The cheetah explodes forward like lightning, and the ostrich reacts instantly. Powerful legs slice through the hot air as both surge into a decisive race. Two of the fastest creatures on Earth collide in a contest of instinct, pride, and survival. The bird's heartbeat blends with the rush of wind, dust rising beneath the unforgiving sun. The ostrich veers, wings slightly spread, fighting to escape, but on the savanna, fortune is fragile, and only the strongest endure. At last, the chase ends and silence returns to the plains. Sunlight filters through the grass, illuminating the place where nature has delivered its verdict, harsh, yet impartial. The cheetah approaches and fulfills its role. A gentle breeze slowly erases the tracks in the dust. There is no tragedy here, only the eternal rhythm of life. The ostrich falls, but the world moves on, steady as the heartbeat of the earth. When the hunter departs, the gatherers arrive hyenas, vultures, and even armies of ants. They transform what remains, returning energy to the soil. On the savanna, nothing is wasted, everything is renewed. From dry ground, green life will rise again beneath the sun, marking the beginning of another cycle where every ending becomes a new beginning, and the story of life continues to unfold. As the first group of wildebeest reaches the banks of the Mara River, tension hangs heavy in the air. The herd comes to a halt. Dozens of dark eyes stare into the murky water, sharing the same unspoken fear. Beneath the seemingly calm surface lurk Nile crocodiles, the largest in Africa and the undisputed predators of this domain. Silent shapes drift slowly below the water, nearly motionless yet filled with terrifying power. Stretching over 5 meters in length and weighing close to 700 kilograms, the Nile crocodile is a near-perfect hunting machine. Its massive jaws can crush bone in an instant, and its rows of curved, blade-sharp teeth are designed to grip prey until escape is impossible. But raw strength alone does not make the crocodile so deadly. Its greatest weapon is patience. A master of ambush, it can go long periods without feeding. One successful kill a single wildebeest is enough to sustain it for weeks. Floating just beneath the surface, with only eyes and nostrils exposed, it waits without urgency for the perfect moment to strike. On the far side of the river lies the promise of life, green grasslands, abundant water, and enough food to sustain the herd for months. Still, hesitation grips the wildebeest gathered at the shore. They scan the water for any sign of danger, fully aware of what waits below. Yet there is no alternative. To remain is to face thirst and starvation. Moving forward is the only choice. On the Savanna, nothing is gained without cost. Every step demands courage. And sometimes the sacrifice of a few ensures the survival of many. At last, the leader steps forward. His movements begin cautiously, but there is no turning back. The moment he enters the river, the sound carries like an unavoidable signal. The rest follow instantly, pouring down the bank and into the water. The crossing erupts into chaos. Water splashes violently. Deep calls echo through the air, and the current sweeps away the smallest bodies. The symphony of life and death begins. Crocodiles, having waited months for this moment, spring into action. They remain still until weakness appears, then strike with explosive speed, seizing individuals isolated or overwhelmed by the current. When a crocodile locks onto its prey, the water darkens around it. Panic surges through the herd. Wildebeests struggle to evade the attacks while pushing forward. The crocodiles need no second chance. One grip is enough to end all hope. The prey thrashes and kicks, but resistance is futile. Dragged under, it vanishes into the depths. The surface calms again, but only briefly. Other crocodiles, drawn by the disturbance, move in quickly. Still, the migration does not stop. The herd presses on without looking back. On this journey, there is no time to wait. The wildebeest's greatest advantage is their number. Thousands cross the river nearly at once. The turbulence and sheer mass make it impossible for the crocodiles to catch them all. Some unfortunate individuals fall to the deadly jaws, but most manage to reach the far bank. The weakest and many calves cannot withstand the current and are left behind. This is the way of nature without judgment, without pause. A harsh, relentless, and eternal cycle, where life moves forward on the sacrifice of a few. Beneath the unforgiving sun and amid swirling clouds of dust, every creature is forced to make decisions where mistakes are not an option. Survival here depends on moving at the precise moment, reacting faster than danger, and understanding a land that offers no second chances. This is a world ruled by the wild, a realm of silent, swift warriors where the fastest hunters may dominate for a moment, but never forever. Each chase reveals bodies perfected for speed, while every failure serves as a reminder that even the deadliest predators are bound by nature's unyielding laws. The African savanna holds its mysteries in every shadow and every track erased by the wind. A land as beautiful as it is brutal, where the struggle to exist sets the timeless rhythm of life. On Africa's endless grasslands, where massive herds shake the earth and danger never fades. Every living creature exists one step away from survival or collapse. Here, strength alone is never enough. Success belongs to those who combine instinct, timing, awareness, and a moment of rare fortune. At the start of a pursuit, it appears inevitable. The predator closes in. The odds seem fixed. But the savanna writes no simple stories. When an animal is cornered and all escape routes vanish, desperation becomes power. In that instant, fear transforms into resistance. Muscles tighten, instincts sharpen, and life fights back with everything it has left. There are no permanent rulers in the wild, no roles written in stone. Only those who seize the exact moment can change their fate. And now we leave the question to you. Do you believe prey can sometimes defeat its predator and rewrite the ending of the hunt? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Beneath the relentless heat of the African savanna, where the landscape glows in shades of gold, a quiet drama begins. Movement is barely visible as shapes press low against the grass. A coalition of lionesses waits, patient and focused. Their attention is locked on a grazing herd of zebras nearby. From a predator's perspective, zebras often seem straightforward prey, social animals without claws or fangs, dependent on awareness and escape. One juvenile steps slightly away from the safety of the group. Smaller and less experienced, it appears vulnerable. But appearances in the wild can be deceiving. As a lioness closes the distance, the young zebra reacts with astonishing speed. Both hind legs launch backward in a sudden, forceful kick, striking with unexpected precision. The predator hesitates, momentarily disoriented. In that instant, the balance of the hunt shifts. Survival here is not dictated solely by raw power or speed, but by instinctive responses refined over evolutionary time. These split-second decisions are the visible outcome of ancient biological programming. Instinctive behavior consists of genetically hardwired action sequences executed flawlessly without prior learning. They activate automatically when specific threats are detected, allowing animals to respond faster than conscious thought would allow. The zebra's kick is not an act of improvisation. It is an innate motor pattern activated instantly when danger approaches from behind. Such behaviors are highly specialized and inflexible, designed for a single objective survival. Reflexes function alongside these instincts, operating through rapid neural circuits that bypass deliberate processing altogether. Crucially, the effectiveness of this defense does not depend on defeating the predator outright. A precise impact, delivered at the right moment, is often enough to interrupt the attack and create an opening for escape. Zebras possess exceptionally strong hip and thigh musculature, among the most powerful of any grazing mammal. Their hooves, dense and durable, concentrate force into a small impact area, amplifying the effect of each strike. When a predator approaches from the rear, the zebra can adjust its kick trajectory straight back or slightly angled depending on the attacker's position. Biomechanical studies of equus species estimate that an adult zebra's kick can exert between 4 to 500 and 6,000 newtons of force. Such power can result in serious injuries if contact is made with sensitive areas such as the head or torso. Long-term field research in ecosystems like the Serengeti and Masai Mara has recorded lionesses bearing facial trauma after misjudging their approach. Skilled predators learn this lesson early. Timing and distance are everything, and one mistake can change the outcome of a hunt. Yet the kick is far more than a reflexive motion. It is the product of an instinct shaped and refined over generations. A young zebra may not strike with perfect accuracy, but the impulse to lash out when danger approaches from behind is present from the moment it is born. As time passes, experience transforms that impulse into precision. The zebra learns when to deliver the kick, how to aim it, and where to flee once the opening is created. It is a powerful fusion of instinct and learning. Among highly intelligent animals such as elephants and primates, this process goes even further. Defensive behavior can include learned strategies, the use of tools, and even imitation of others, revealing that survival in the wild is not static, but constantly shaped by experience. Towering above the African plains, the giraffe is the tallest animal ever to walk the land, and one of the most striking symbols of the savanna. Standing up to 6 meters tall and weighing more than a metric ton, the giraffe's long neck, stretching as much as 2.4 meters, is built from just 7 cervical vertebrae. The same number found in humans, but extended to extraordinary lengths. Its golden coat, broken by bold geometric patches, blends seamlessly with sunlit grasslands and dry shrubs. Giraffes survive on a diet of flowers, shoots, and leaves from thorny acacia trees. Their dark, flexible tongues, nearly half a meter long, coil effortlessly around sharp branches, while thick saliva neutralizes toxins that make this foliage inedible to most grazers. They roam the open savannas and sparse forests of Kenya, Tanzania, and Botswana, where long sight lines allow them to detect danger well in advance. Though they appear calm and slow-moving, giraffes possess a defense system few predators dare to challenge. Their legs, tall and solid like stone pillars, deliver tremendous force. A single forward strike can unleash thousands of newtons of impact, powerful enough to break bone or kill a full-grown lion with a precise blow to the head. Sometimes, the giraffe swings its leg sideways, carving out an escape route, a movement very different from the rear kicks of zebras. From its elevated vantage point, the giraffe also serves as a living watchtower, spotting threats far across the plains. In one recorded encounter, an adult giraffe outran and exhausted two lionesses within moments, forcing one to abandon the chase entirely. A frontal strike from a giraffe can be devastating. When its forelegs slam straight down, the hardened hooves become crushing weapons. A well-placed impact to the skull of a predator can result in fatal injuries ranging from head trauma to spinal collapse or internal bleeding, often ending the fight in minutes. Rear kicks, on the other hand, are used to repel attackers approaching from behind. These powerful blows can hurl predators several meters away and are often delivered with deadly intent, particularly when defending a calf. While zebras kick primarily to create an opening to flee, giraffes strike with the purpose of eliminating the danger. There are documented cases where a single defensive blow from a giraffe proved fatal to a lioness that attempted to close in from the side. The giraffe's hooves, spanning 30 to 35 centimeters and lined with hardened, razor-like edges, do far more than bruise. A sideways impact can rip through the abdomen, shatter the spine, or cause the lungs to collapse. This reaction is not calculated. It is instinctive, triggered by sudden movement nearby. It is a built-in survival response refined by evolution. Even lions, among the most formidable predators on Earth, are cautious when facing a fully grown giraffe. Their only real chance lies in forcing it to the ground, usually by jumping onto its back or destabilizing the rear legs. Because as long as the giraffe remains on its feet, every kick is a potential killing blow. Size is not a luxury shared by all prey. Many smaller ungulates do not possess the power to confront their hunters directly, forcing them to depend on different survival mechanisms to escape death. impala approaches the water's edge with caution. Without warning, a Nile crocodile bursts from below and seizes it. The reptile seems inexperienced, unable to pull its struggling prey beneath the surface. Caught at the shoreline, the impala fights desperately, first attempting to escape, then stiffening its body when it realizes resistance is its only chance to avoid drowning. As soon as the crocodile's grip loosens, the impala releases a final surge of energy, leaps free and bolts away. But survival in the wild rarely follows a single threat. At that exact moment, a leopard appears. Silent and precise, it is among Africa's most efficient predators. Yet even it can be stopped by one unlikely opponent, the Cape porcupine. The Cape porcupine holds the title of Africa's largest rodent, reaching up to 30 kilograms in weight. Its stocky frame, short limbs, and coarse black hair give little hint of its true strength. That power lies in its formidable coat of quills, one of the most effective defensive adaptations found in mammals. Covering its back and sides are thousands of rigid keratin spines, some exceeding 35 centimeters in length. The shorter quills near the head form a dense shield, while the longer, hollow spines along the back combine strength with flexibility. When danger approaches, the porcupine erects its quills, producing a distinctive rattling sound that serves as a universal warning signal. This species is native to dry savannas and open forests throughout southern and eastern Africa. Active mainly at night, it feeds on underground plant parts, fallen fruit, bark, and occasionally bones, which supply minerals that help maintain the strength of its spines. Though slow-moving, the porcupine relies on confidence rather than speed. When threatened, it pivots swiftly, raises its quills, and swings its tail with precision. Leopards, despite their skill, are its primary natural predators. In one encounter, a leopardess hunting with her cub observes the youngster approach too closely. The porcupine stands its ground, spines fully raised. The cub hesitates and retreats. The mother attempts to outmaneuver the rodent but finds no safe angle of attack. These reactions are driven by deeply ingrained instincts, reinforced by rapid reflex pathways. Even slight pressure activates an immediate defensive response. Eventually, the leopard withdraws, forced to sit and carefully remove embedded quills. There are many documented cases of large predators dying days later from infections caused by such wounds. After the confrontation, the savanna settles once more into silence as survival claims another chapter. In the broken shade of acacia trees, a group of lions rests quietly. Their sunlit bodies shimmer against the pale grasses as evening approaches. Dust drifts through the air, heavy with the scent of strength and territory. But among these symbols of dominance lies something unexpected, a small, rounded form, smooth and reflective, like forged metal. This object is no stone. It is a perfectly sealed ball of overlapping scales, fitted together with extraordinary precision. While other prey species rely on spines or speed, this animal leaves nothing exposed. The ground pangolin of Africa, scientifically known as Temminck's pangolin, inhabits dry savannas and open forests from the southern regions of the continent to eastern Africa. Reaching up to 1 meter in length and weighing around 15 kilograms. It is protected by thick keratin scales, dense, durable, and far stronger than they appear. These scales overlap in layers similar to traditional armor, joined by flexible skin that allows the animal to move freely or lock itself into a tight defensive position. When threatened, the pangolin instinctively curls inward, hiding its head and limbs, transforming into an almost impenetrable sphere. This reaction is one of the oldest known defensive strategies among mammals, preserved for over 40 million years. The pangolin is solitary and active only at night, feeding exclusively on ants and termites. Its elongated tongue, often longer than half its body, allows it to reach deep into insect colonies hidden below ground. Each year, a single pangolin consumes tens of millions of insects, helping to maintain ecological balance and protect vegetation. Its strong forelegs and curved claws are designed for excavation, while its armored scales shield it from bites and acidic secretions. As it moves, the pangolin arches its body and walks primarily on its hind limbs, rocking gently an animal that carries its protection wherever it goes. When a lion tries to force it open with its paws, the pangolin's real resilience becomes evident. The claws scrape, but the scales hold firm. The initial surge of predatory drive slowly gives way to irritation as time passes. The pangolin does not struggle. It remains motionless, muscles locked, resembling a silent, breathing boulder. Its survival strategy is not resistance, but complete immobility. Only once the predator loses interest and withdraws does the pangolin carefully unfold. It stretches its neck, steadies itself. And departs calmly, leaving subtle impressions in the dust behind. This protective shell is an evolutionary masterpiece, but also a fatal disadvantage. While it renders the animal nearly untouchable in the wild, it offers no defense against humans, but who can capture it effortlessly and feed the demand of illegal markets. Ironically, the very perfection of this adaptation has become a liability in the modern age. In the natural world, survival is shaped not by raw power alone, but by a fine interplay of instinct, neural reflexes, and adaptive behavior. from devastating kicks to scale-covered bodies built like living armor. Each species contributes its own solution to the fragile balance between predator and prey. It is this balance, violent yet remarkably precise, that defines nature as both merciless and, in its own way, deeply just. The African buffalo is one of nature's most effective examples of group defense. Among Africa's large herbivores, few inspire as much caution. A fully grown adult can weigh between 500 and 900 kilograms. With a thick ponortul's powerful body that moves across the savanna like a rolling mass of muscle. A direct charge is capable of lifting a lion off the ground, often leaving the predator badly injured. The buffalo's signature weapons are its heavy, curved horns, which extend outward before angling upward into sharp points. In males, the horn bases merge into a dense bony shield known as the boss, forming a protective barrier across the skull. Combined with tough, leathery skin, this anatomy makes it difficult for predators to deliver a decisive bite. But what truly sets the buffalo apart is its personality, unpredictable, aggressive, and unwilling to yield. Unlike domesticated buffalo species, the African buffalo has never lost its wild edge. It shows little fear of humans, lions, or any perceived threat, and retreat is rarely an option. As a result, lions are usually successful only when working together and isolating a single buffalo from the herd. In most other situations, the attempt can turn deadly. When buffalo move as a group, they form a tightly packed front, advancing with purpose and readiness to defend. Because frontal attacks are ineffective, lionesses often target the rear, attempting to disrupt balance and force a fall. Yet this strategy frequently collapses. Rather than fleeing alone, a threatened buffalo runs toward its herd where assistance is almost certain. Within moments, hunters can become the hunted, confronted by a solid barrier of horns. When a calf is targeted, the response is even more intense. The mother's reaction triggers a wave of defensive behavior throughout the herd. In buffalo societies, these responses are reinforced through collective learning, allowing the group to function as a single, coordinated unit when danger arises. The Chacma baboon offers one of the clearest examples of collective defense among African mammals. As the largest baboon species, it lives in complex social troops that can include dozens or even hundreds of individuals. Their structure is deliberate. Powerful males guard the front and rear during travel, while females and juveniles remain safely enclosed within the group. These primates are adaptable omnivores, consuming fruits, seeds, insects, and occasional animal matter. Their primary natural threat is the leopard. In the southern African bush, as daylight fades, a leopard advances quietly through cover, unaware it is approaching a highly organized force. Unlike social predators, leopards hunt alone. They rely on stealth, concealment, and sudden violence. In regions like Kruger National Park and the Okavango Delta, most leopard ambushes originate from low trees or dense shrubs, equipped with powerful forelimbs and a crushing bite. The leopard strikes when alertness wanes, but this hunt takes a different turn. An adult male baboon senses something unusual. No movement is visible, yet an unfamiliar odor triggers concern. Baboons have excellent sensory perception, and their communication system is highly specialized. A single alarm call rings out short, sharp, and unmistakable. Each predator has its own acoustic warning, and the call for a leopard is unique. Even young baboons with no prior encounters recognize the signal instantly and flee to safety. Before the leopard can close the distance, the troop has already shifted formation. Large males step forward, standing tall, fur raised, voices echoing across the brush. One advances boldly, followed by several others. This behavior is known as mobbing, a coordinated response designed to overwhelm a predator psychologically and eliminate the advantage of surprise. Faced with multiple defenders, the leopard hesitates. The baboons do not seek to defeat the predator physically. Their goal is disruption. What sets them apart is their social intelligence. They cooperate, assess threats collectively, and respond as a unified system. Studies suggest that decisions within large troops emerge from shared experience rather than dominance alone. The troop acts as an information network, processing signals in real time. In an environment where seconds determine survival, baboon defense relies on awareness, memory, and coordination as much as physical strength. This combination makes them formidable opponents, and often it is the unity and intelligence of the prey that compels the predator to withdraw silently, abandoning the hunt before it truly begins. The white rhinoceros is among the largest land mammals still walking the earth, surpassed only by the elephant. An adult can weigh anywhere from just over a ton to more than 2,400 kilograms, stretch nearly 4 meters in length, and stand over 1.8 meters tall at the shoulder. Its thick, grayish skin reaching up to 5 centimeters acts as a natural shield. Despite its name, the word white does not refer to color, but comes from the Old Dutch word wide, describing its broad, flat mouth perfectly designed for grazing. This giant carries two horns made of keratin. The front horn typically measures between 60 and 90 centimeters, though some individuals exceed 1.5 meters. These horns serve both as defensive weapons and as tools in dominance contests between males. Long, mobile ears rotate nearly 180 degrees, while small, side-set eyes provide a wide view of the savanna, where danger can emerge from any direction. A highly specialized herbivore, the white rhino consumes between 40 and 60 kilograms of grass every day. Using its wide lips and powerful neck muscles, it crops vegetation close to the ground without uprooting it, unlike the black rhinoceros, which relies on a hooked lip to browse leaves. It favors open savannas with short grasses, scattered shrubs, and shallow wetlands, ranging from southern Africa to Kenya. Access to water is essential. The rhino drinks daily and regularly wallows in mud to cool down, deter insects, and protect its skin from the sun. Reproduction is slow and demanding. After a gestation period of about 16 months, the female gives birth to a single calf weighing roughly 50 kilograms. The young rhino nurses for up to 18 months and remains constantly by its mother's side during its early years. During this time, the normally calm female becomes fiercely protective. When defending her calf, she can charge at speeds of 40 to 45 kilometers per hour. With a sense of smell up to 50 times stronger than that of humans, the white rhinoceros can detect predators such as lions or hyenas from hundreds of meters away. When threatened, it does not warn or retreat. It lowers its head, lines up its horn, and charges with overwhelming force. A single impact can exceed 10,000 newtons, enough to hurl even large predators into the air. When a pride of lions closes in on a mother rhino and her calf as they graze, the young one does not flee. Instead, it stays pressed close to its mother, eyes locked on the surrounding predators. when a lioness suddenly lunges forward and sinks her claws into the calf's shoulder. The young rhino releases a powerful bellow that echoes across the savanna. Each cry acts as an instant biological signal, triggering the mother's protective response without delay. The female does not strike immediately. She first pivots her massive body, positioning herself between the calf and the threat, horn aimed directly at the attacker. She may appear weary, but at this moment, her purpose is singular and absolute. One deliberate movement, charged with lethal force, is enough. The lioness releases her grip. Though wounded, the calf remains on its feet and continues forward. Falling slightly behind, it turns back and, with its small horn still forming, makes a tentative charge at anything that dares come closer. This is no random reaction, it is learned behavior, passed from mother to offspring as part of its natural upbringing. Moments later, the lions, tired, frustrated, and outmatched, abandon the encounter and retreat. On the unforgiving plains of Africa, where life is often decided in mere seconds, one truth becomes clear: there is no predetermined ending. When a prey animal is cornered and escape is no longer an option, it does not surrender. It releases every remaining ounce of strength, every ancient instinct, every breath it has left. Because in this vast and untamed arena, survival does not always belong to the strongest, but to the one that seizes the perfect moment. In this relentless world, there are no eternal predators. Only animals that understand a single mistake can turn the hunter into the hunted, and the prey into an unexpected victor. This is the uncompromising law of nature, unpredictable, harsh, and in its own way, profoundly fair. If this journey through the battles of the wild has moved you, inspired you, or taught you something new, consider supporting the channel by liking the video and subscribing. Your support allows us to continue exploring and sharing the most powerful stories the natural world has to offer.